Hey guys, Ominous here, and I'm excited to share this deck with you today. We are looking at a Decidueye EX variant deck. I haven't seen anyone else use this one yet, but everyone should start to because oh man is it fun. The idea with this deck is to inflict damage onto your opponents so that Decidueye EX can come in and use its move Pierce the Pain, which deals 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon with damage on it. This move allows you to hit Pokemon on the bench. It is also 2 colorless energy, which is a huge plus. I run this deck with both water and grass energy. Greninja is in there too to deal damage with its ability Water Shuriken. This combined with Decidueye EX is a deadly combo. I also like to use the Rowlet with the move skill Dive, as this move allows it to deal 10 damage to any of your opponent's Pokemon, which can set up Decidueye EX nicely. Pyukumuku is in there as a wall. It dealing 50 damage when it gets knocked out is great, and only having 1 retreat cost makes it easy to switch out too. Next up is some gameplay showing the synergy of this deck. Sit back and enjoy. Alright, I actually draw a pretty good hand. I have Froakie, a Rare Candy, and Greninja. I decide to put Rowlet in the active spot and Froakie in the bench. Drawing Frogadier is nice, so that's a plus right there. Since I have green energy, I'm going to attach it to Rowlet. It has Skill Dive, which I can pick any Pokemon to attack. I decide to attack the Eevee, because I'm not sure what it's going to evolve into, and if I can evolve it into Decidueye EX next turn, that Eevee is gone. Alright, looks like he evolved it into a Flareon, which isn't bad. I draw a Pokeball. I'm going to end up using it. I draw Pyukumuku, so I'm going to put that on the bench. I'm going to evolve Froakie into Frogadier. And then I'm going to attach a green energy to it. Now, I decide, you know what? I'm going to use Skill Dive again, and on this time, I'm going to attack the Oricorio. Ooh, he ends up getting all energy attached to that Turtonator. I end up drawing another Pyukumuku, so decide to evolve my Frogadier into Greninja. I am then going to use Retreat to put Pyukumuku into the active spot. I'm going to attach a water energy to Greninja, use Water Shuriken, and I decide that I'm going to deal damage to that Oricorio as well. My turn again, draw a Greninja, not really useful right now. I put the Grass Energy onto Rowlet. I'm going to use Water Shuriken again on Oricorio, so now if I use it next turn, Oricorio is gone. The fact that he used Turtonator to get rid of my Pyukumuku is great, because now Innards Out works. It deals 50 damage. Now I'm going to be able to put Greninja in the active spot. I'm going to use Greninja's Water Shuriken to get rid of Oricorio, and then I'm going to attack with Miss Slash and get rid of that Turtonator, and that's 2 points this round. unfortunately for him, does not know that I have a rare candy and Greninja in my hand. So I don't know why I decided to use Lily to charge Greninja. It doesn't really matter. I use rare candy onto Froakie, evolve it into Greninja. Now I'm going to use 2 Water Shurikens on Turtonator, and then use a Mist Slash and get rid of him for the 3rd point. So, start second here, I decided to put Rowlet in the active spot, Froakie on the bench. It's nice that I have a rare candy and the Decidueye EX, so I can evolve that Rowlet. Oh, and now I draw the Greninja, so I really can't evolve either one of these. It stinks that I started off with a water energy instead of a grass, so I can't attack this turn. I decide, you know what, I'm going to put the water energy on Rowlet, and next turn maybe I can evolve it and put the grass energy on it. My turn, draw that Professor's Research, decide to use it. I draw another Froakie in my other Rowlet, so it's got me thinking. I end up deciding, you know what, I'm going to put the second Rowlet down, and then I'm going to use the Pokemon Communication on that Froakie, and let's see if I can pull out that Frogadier. And you know what? Lucky me, I did get that Frogadier, so I decided I'm going to evolve Froakie into Frogadier. I'm going to attach a Grass Energy onto that second Rowlet, and end my turn. My turn, I draw a Pokeball. I'm going to end up using that Pokeball, and I get the Mewtwo. I go, alright, now it's time to evolve that Frogadier into Greninja. Next, I decide to use that rare candy and evolve the Rowlet on my bench into the Decidueye EX. I debated it for a while, but I decided to use Water Shuriken on Rampardos. Was going back and forth on how I wanted to play this, but I decided to put the green energy on Decidueye EX, retreat that Rowlet, put Decidueye EX in the active spot, and now I'm going to use Razor Leaf to get rid of that Lycanroc. He hit me for a lot of damage there, but I still survive. I draw a rare candy, can't really do much with that right now. I decide to use Water Shuriken, and I'm going to use that on the Rockruff on the bench, so it has some damage on it. I then decide, you know what, I'm going to put this Grass Energy on Greninja, and I thought about it for a while. Should I attack with Decidueye EX and get rid of the Rockruff, or maybe put a massive amount of damage on Rampardos, so that way if it attacks next turn it will die? I say, you know what, I'm actually going to retreat and put Pyukumuku out here as a defense. My opponent is smart for not attacking, because if he killed Pyukumuku, it would have been 50 damage from innards out, and 50 damage from his head smash move, so that would have been 100 damage. My turn, I decide to use Greninja's ability on the Skull Fossil in the back. I then attach a Water Energy to Pyukumuku and have it attack Rampardos. That is now 2 turns of him not attacking, which is pretty risky. I wouldn't have done that. My turn, I draw Professor's Research, I use it. I end up pulling a Lily and a Giant Cape, which is great. I put the Giant's Cape on Decidueye EX. I then decide, you know what, I'm going to use Water Shuriken and I'm going to attack that Rockruff, so that way next turn I can destroy it with that ability. Decide to use the second energy on Decidueye EX, and I'm going to attack again with Pyukumuku. I debated this for a while, and ultimately I decided to use Water Shuriken on Lycanroc, which actually I think was the wrong move. I should have used it on Rampardos. Then I could have put Decidueye EX in and got rid of Rampardos, and I could have also left him there, and Lycanroc would have not killed him. It would have only done 50 damage because we would have been at the same HP, and I would have survived. I think my opponent really just had no idea what to do. Took a while to make a decision, ends up not attacking, and now it's game, set, point. I'm going to use Water Shuriken on that Lycanroc in the back. Boom, that's my second point. I am then going to switch Pyukumuku out for Decidueye EX. And I'm also going to use Guzman to get rid of that Giant Cape. Not really needed, but did it anyways because I think the card's cool and I like to use it. And now I get to attack with Decidueye EX and win the game. Alright, I'm going first, and I draw 2 rare candies, a Pokeball, Decidueye EX, and Pyukumuku, so this could be good. Put Pyukumuku in the active spot. My turn, I draw a Pokeball, hopefully I get a Rowlet. I do, which is great, so I'm going to put that Rowlet on the bench, and I should be able to evolve it next turn. Alright, my turn. I draw my second Rowlet, which is nice. Use that rare candy to evolve the Rowlet on the bench into Decidueye EX. I'm going to attach the Grass Energy to it, and I'm also going to put the other Rowlet onto my bench. And this is exactly why I love Pyukumuku, and it's such a good card against Rampardos, because Rampardos gets hit 50 because he defeated Pyukumuku, and Innards Out activates, which does another 50. So now I'll be able to put Decidueye EX into the active spot, and I can attack and get rid of that Rampardos. Putting that Giant Cape onto the Decidueye EX so it has more HP. Attach that Water Energy, and now let's pierce the pain, baby. Bye-bye, Rampardos. Alright, I'm up. I get a Pokeball. I'm going to use it. I end up pulling another Pyukumuku. So I decide, you know what? The Decidueye EX just needs another green grass energy to use Razor Leaf. So I'm going to use that Razor Leaf onto Lucario so it only has 20 HP. Alright, my turn, and I draw a Froakie. I'm a little nervous because he evolved Thralts into Kirlia, and he could have the Gallade EX. Decidueye EX has 3 energy attached to him, so it would deal a massive amount of damage, so I decided to put Froakie and Pyukumuku on the bench. I then decide, you know what, I have a Water Energy to use, so I'm going to retreat my Decidueye EX and put Pyukumuku into the active spot. Attach the energy to it, have it attack, Lucario's gone, and now it's a good defense against Gallade EX if he does evolve him. Called it right there, evolved it into Decidueye EX, attacked my Mewtwo, so it does 50 damage onto it. Now it's sitting at 120, which is a great spot. Drawing that Greninja just made it game, set, point. Now I use Rare Candy onto Froakie to evolve it into Greninja. It will use Water Shuriken onto Decidueye EX to put it at 100, and then Decidueye EX Pierce the Pain for 100 points. Bye-bye, Decidueye EX. Game, set, match, baby. Alright, get to go second this time. I have Froakie and both my Rowlets. I decide to put the Rowlet with Skill Dive in the active spot and Froakie on the bench and leave it at that for now. Alright, my turn. I grab a Lily, I use a Professor's Research, and I end up getting a Pokemon Communication and a Rare Candy. This is great. This is also why I love Rowlet with Skill Dive, because he puts Skarmory with a Rocky Helmet, while Skill Dive, I can hop right over you and put damage onto that Dialga EX. Honestly, what a great draw. Get the Decidueye EX. I'm going to use that Rare Candy to evolve Rowlet into the Decidueye EX. Next, I'm going to use the Professor's Research to see what I end up getting. Greninja and Mewtwo is great. I end up putting Mewtwo on the bench. I'm going to use that Water Energy onto the Decidueye EX. Since I have the Decidueye EX out there, and I have Greninja in my hand, I decide to use Pokemon Communication for a Rowlet, and I get Frogadier, so now I can evolve Froakie into Frogadier this turn. Next turn, evolve it into Greninja. Now I get to use Pierce Pain onto Dialga EX, and now it's only have 40 HP. My turn, and I draw a Pokeball, which is nice. I end up using it, and I pull out my Rowlet again. I say, okay, now it's time to evolve Frogadier into Greninja. Time to use Water Shuriken. I decide to use Water Shuriken on Cosmog, because that way I can then attack with Decidueye EX onto Cosmog so it's gone, so it does not evolve it into a Solgaleo, because that would have been a big issue. I use Lily to heal my Decidueye EX to 130. Yep, and he had no shot. I can now just attack with the Decidueye EX again onto that Dialga EX, and that's game.